It's time to roll the credits with Chris and Wayne. Good evening and welcome once again to Roll the Credits with Chris and Wayne. I'm Wayne Pyle.
And I'm Chris Ty.
And we are the official video podcast for the Hunter Mountain Film Festival. The Hunter Mountain Film Festival is running for 3 days this year from October 23rd through the 25th, and we are completely online. So make sure you check out all of the other great content we have available at huntermountainfilmfestival.com. So before we get into our guests tonight, Chris, I've just been thinking about this. Have you been watching anything on any of the subscription services or anything lately because of the pandemic? Like, have you been watching anything more than usual?
Well, it's funny. My wife and I, we're not really binge people, but all of a sudden we are.
Exactly.
And for some reason, no particular reason, we got into Designated Survivor.
Oh, nice.
And it's like, okay, we'll just watch one more,
Right, exactly. And then it turns into like 4 or 5. Next thing you know, you're waking up bleary-eyed.
I have to go to bed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've been watching
start.
Yeah, exactly. And we've been hooked on ABC's Blackish. We started watching and we just can't stop. It makes us laugh and Willoughby, my young son, he loves it, and he has to watch an episode before he goes to bed. So that's been something we've been watching during the pandemic. Have you caught any documentaries, any films? We caught that The Social Dilemma, the thing that everybody's talking about how social media is nefarious in many ways. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I tuning into the festivals and just catching, the occasional short film. And there's so many cool things in the festivals, which is why I love them. And I'm not just saying that because we're in them, but, you get content that you don't get on regular TV and Netflix, it's just, there's so much awesome stuff. And I think we're going to talk to a couple of really awesome filmmakers who
are
awesome stuff.
We are. So why don't you, on that note, Chris, thank you for that transition. Why don't we jump into introducing our guests? Why don't you start us off?
Well, first guest, Abigail Zealey Bess, is an award-winning filmmaker and theatrical director with an extensive resume. She's established Weird Sisters in 1997 and directed and produced her debut film, an award-winning baseball trilogy, Play Ball, that was screened all over the world and appeared in over 40 film festivals here in the U.S.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Abigail is a long-standing member of the Ensemble Studio Theater and has directed and produced numerous new works. She has an extensive knowledge and experience working in production and feature film, TV, and commercials, and has several full-length features in development. She's on the faculty for the graduate film program at Tisch School of Arts, New York University. She is the director of the multi-award-winning short film, ICARUS Stops for Breakfast, which will be shown this year at the Hunter Mountain Film Festival.
Awesome. And Holly Harms is an award-winning playwright, screenwriter, and short story writer who is a member of Dramatist Guild, Ensemble Studio Theater. She is on the board of Women in the Arts and Media Coalition and a contributing writer with Verbal Supply Company, Monologues and Madness, and a reviewer with New York Theater Guide and Front Row Center. She's the writer of the multi-award-winning film, ICARUS Stops for Breakfast. And I also read that she has a rescue dog named Arlo Guthrie Marshmallow. Perhaps we could interview Arlo sometime if his schedule isn't too full. So without further ado, let's welcome our very talented multi-hyphenate guests, Abigail Zealey Bess and Holly Harms. Welcome and thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you. I wondered who you were talking about for a little bit there.
Did we miss anything? Did we miss anything that you'd like to fill us in on?
No, you even got Arlo Guthrie in there.
Yes, I love that. We also have 2 rescue dogs, so I have a fond place in my heart for rescues.
They're the best, yes.
Yeah. We rescue cats.
Oh, lovely. Very nice.
Which are onto their own, as we know.
Yes.
Wayne rescued me, so.
There you go.
Well, we are very excited to talk to you about ICARUS Stops for Breakfast.
Thank you.
I did watch the film, and I hope I'm not giving anything away for anyone who hasn't watched it, but I had this weird sensation of both having the desire to eat and feeling full at the same time.
Yes.
But can you talk about your, and for either one of you or both of you, your inspiration for writing the film?
Well, Holly, you should talk about the inspiration.
I actually it came from a short story, a Rick Bass short story called Eating, which might give you an idea of why you're talking about food.
Yes.
And I read it and just immediately thought that it would make a great little short film, and went to Abigail at our local little pub and pushed the book across the table to her and said, I think this is a short film. And the next day she called me and said, yes, it is a short film. And so that's where it started. Was from this. It literally, it's the story itself and the characters in it, characters meaning some of the animals in it, just hit my heart for some reason. I think both of us. Yeah. And it was a labor of love, truly, for us.
I mean, she did say it was enough to make a film with a pig, an owl, and a donkey. Yeah. Yes.
And I did keep saying, Abigail, should I put in a scene with a lot of them? She was like, do it all. Don't worry about it.
So you didn't worry about that. You didn't worry about that old expression, never work with children and animals. You're like, let's go all in.
Exactly. Let's just go in.
I see films with animals and children. I have an affliction there.
Right.
So it works out very well.
It did.
There's a scene in there with a bird's eye view with the owl that I think is just stunning. And it really sets the scene for what's coming. And I just really appreciate it. By the way, speaking of what's in the film, we noticed there's a couple of Hudson Valley regulars, Michael Dorby and Joe Felice were.
You know that?
Yes.
They were great.
Yeah. And we've worked with those guys. They're awesome.
Yeah. They're brilliant.
Yeah.
Are great old timers at the bar who at the on the diner who just were. They didn't really have to act; they just were.
That's those guys for sure.
Their clothes. They did their own costumes because they just said, "How was this?" And we were like, "You're perfect."
Like right. Yeah, yeah. I know them both very well. I'm also a big fan of Catherine Curtin's work too. She's
Kathy
just so great.
Kathy is a friend, an old friend that she and I have known each other from way back, and we were also both parents at the same elementary school.
Oh, wow.
And lived in the same neighborhood, so I would see her and I was like, Kathy, do you think you might be interested in doing this? And she was like, yeah, sure.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, no, she's terrific.
I love those stories about how, close our community can be at times. That really.
Oh, yes, and as Abigail said, she's also a member of Ensemble Studio Theater. We're everywhere.
Oh, that's great. That is great to hear. I really do. I really love hearing that, how connected the communities are and how those connections are really what helps us to tell the stories and get them shot. The other thing I know, I think I read, Abigail, that sometimes you also do location managing.
Oh, that's a past
thing. Well, the Phoenicia Diner is used in so many films. We love the Phoenicia Diner. It's used in a lot of films up here.
The owner, you know him, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Who is so incredible. But the great thing was, because of doing locations, it actually has really helped in so many ways for the production issues, because you really know how to approach a place. And seriously, Mike was so amazing, but we saw that diner and I think Holly and I probably wooed him for about a year and a half.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
We would drive up once a week. We would drive up, have a little nosh there, and be like, "Hi, Mike, we really do want to use this diner."
Oh, that's great. That's great.
He's probably like, "Yeah, I'm used to that."
Yeah.
Get in line.
Right.
But he was so great. He gave us. It was a week. It was a week between, right after Thanksgiving, because we were originally supposed to shoot it in the summertime, which is the whole canoe. But it was a week after Thanksgiving. He said, "Listen, I can give you the place for 5 days. There's no one there." So, okay. Now we have snow in shop, but I think that it made it even more beautiful.
I thought it was beautiful. I love the way that it looked.
The starkness of it. And our drone manipulator guy just caught the beauty of the Catskills at that time.
They really did. They really did. You know what else, Abigail? I don't know if you know this or not, but I was actually in Peace, Love, and Misunderstanding.
Oh, no.
I was in that house that you shot that it was supposed to be in Manhattan, but it was up here. Do you remember that? Yeah. I was at the diner. I was in the diner table scene, the dining table scene with Catherine Keener and Kyle MacLachlan. So that's what I mean about the connections. It's so fascinating to me how connected we really are.
and that's such a great area. I mean, I think we shot that film. We shot all over every area. You know, it's like Phoenicia, and then it was also Woodstock, obviously.
Right.
All over Hunter, all in that area. It's a beautiful. It's so beautiful that it was. We felt like we were on film camp. I have to say that.
that's
working. You know, it's really great. Really great.
Well, speaking of that, Abigail, can you talk about maybe a story that comes to mind for you, something that was maybe challenging or joyful about working on ICARUS Stops for Breakfast? I love to hear these stories about like something interesting that happened or something that you remember.
Look at Holly's face. I know.
Every time someone asked me was there anything that was a bit challenging, and it was the bloody donkey.
Of course.
So, I mean, it was so funny actually, because all the animals were girls, which we were very pleased about, but she was a very difficult girl, and she would not put in the scene, she was supposed to put her head through the window, and, you know, she's pretty smart. She's like, if I put my head through that window, I'm going to cut my head off. Clearly, that's what she was thinking. So she got very panicky because it was a real major part of the scene. You know, she has to get the toilet paper, and like, I'm trying not to give too much away, but never mind.
That's really great.
You know, obviously what we did was she did not come through the window. She came in a different entrance, which actually worked better because it was even weirder than what you would have imagined. So
yes, and I love that too. The things we think are going to go one way and then they go another way while filming, and it makes it somehow
more magical,
better, and more interesting. Like you said, weird. I love that word, and I love that. That's could you just say something about that's your production company, Weird Sisters? Is that?
We did it Weird Sisters in collaboration with Below the Belt, which
I
is
see. Okay.
My production company.
Oh, I see. Okay, great. And Holly, do you have a story for us? I'd love to hear something else.
Actually, it's Jill the donkey was really quite extraordinary. I will say that, and I think that people are going, toilet paper, donkeys, and then I'm going to say owl. And the owl and the trainer were so connected and so amazing.
Oh, wow.
And she was beautiful. Woodstock, her name is Woodstock, was lovely. And the story with that is that he stayed afterwards, after she had shot her day, and she hit her mark. She was so good, that girl. The trainer stayed and let us all hold her on our arms.
Wow.
And
amazing.
it was really quite magical. And you don't realize they weigh nothing. They weigh nothing.
Really?
Yeah. Right. It's all fluff around whatever.
All fluff. Yeah. So it was quite, and we had some kids on the set. Kathy had her son there. My daughter was there. So it was quite spectacular. It was really and truly the cast and the crew, and this is all Abigail, came together. Everyone we were all living in one big house in Big Indian. That 20 of us were there.
Mm-hmm.
And we all ate together, and we just hung out together, and everybody truly cared about the film, so that everyone was giving 110%.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
My son Willoughby popped over when I was watching the film, and he saw the owl turn its head, and he was like, what did that thing? He wasn't sure what was going on. It was like, how did it do that? And, you know, I had to do a quick little owl lesson with him.
That's an owl, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just curious, how did you two decide to collaborate on the process of the film?
We've known each other because we both met in these labs at Ensemble Studio Theatre, so we've known each other a really long time, right? Right, Holly?
We were 12 when we met. No.
We really enjoyed.
We've known each other 8 years. Okay, good.
Yes. And we've worked together in the theater, Abigail as actresses together, as collaborating writers, and as myself as a writer, and Abigail directing. And I know how great she is with actors, with everything. And I was just like, let's do a film.
I mean, it's very effortless, especially, you know, because it's just the mindset. We both have a very anal, similar mindset. Almost to obsession, over obsession, but hopefully in a nice way, not an awful way. So, you know, it's always great to work together because we just know we've got each other's back, and we always have a very, you know, it's just great. It's just I don't know how to express it apart from to say we just it's almost like that kind of symbiotic relationship where you don't really need to say anything because the other one's thinking the same thing. You know what I mean?
And I do think that part of it is because we were both at Ensemble Studio Theater, and there's a certain way of acting and working. A lot of our actors, our main actors, were also all Ensemble Studio Theater. Molly, Bobby, Denny, Kathy, are all ensembles. So everybody has the same sort of way of working together. That's easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yeah, and you sort of develop a vocabulary, a language for getting things done whenever you work
There's
together.
A shorthand
lot like
to
that.
it,
Yeah, like a shorthand to it. I actually worked with Denny too on a film called Darcy.
You did?
Yeah, we did it together. I don't think we had any scenes together, but we had same film. So, yeah.
He was around just now. So
he was. Oh, okay, yeah. Darcy. We did Darcy in the Catskill region as well.
Was that upstate too? Darcy? Was that film upstate?
Yeah, upstate as well. Yeah.
I think I remember that one. I didn't see it, but I think I remember him shooting it. Did it? Yeah. When did it get released?
Oh gosh. I don't remember. It's sort of been like an ongoing release. It's sort of being picked up and put in different places right now. But yeah, it's one of those that's continuing to evolve.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Sounds like, Wayne, you just know everyone.
Well, I'm trying to I'm trying to be everywhere, if I can, especially since I'm just stuck here.
I don't know how you get into this film, quite frankly.
I'm sorry, say that again. I lost you for a second.
I don't know how you didn't get into our film.
Oh, right. I know, right? Hey, there we go. Maybe the next one. We were talking a bit about you were mentioning Ensemble Studio Theater, and I have a theater background as well, and I think even though film production is kind of slowly coming back with everything that's happening, I just think I feel and think about my theater friends a lot these days, because how do we do this live thing where we are so intimate next to each other? I mean, even in filming too, but especially with audiences that have to be in a space together and experience people talking loudly, expectorating, fully. I really have been thinking about that a lot. So I'm wondering, has Ensemble Studio Theater, have they been able to do any work, or has there been some discussions about how to move forward out of this? Anything that you could share with us about that?
Well, I think, EST is obviously trying to, navigate as many theatre companies are, but and Holly, you should talk about this. What we did do just recently, last week actually, was a Zoom theatre experience with the Tank Theatre. Do you want to talk about that, Holly?
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, yeah. So the Tank, which is, it's a great space here in New York. It sort of goes back to the old, come on in, we've got an empty space for you, you can use it, and take chances and let's see what happens. And they've been putting together a group called Rule 7x7. So they get 7 playwrights and they give you 7 rules to write your piece in, with 7 pages to write it in. And then they put it up. And the production value is really great. But it is all based on the idea of these are Zoom plays. So everyone's coming into the Zoom with, and Abigail, again, directed a piece that I wrote based on the 3 sisters who, one really wants to take down a monument. She's in that, let's take down the monuments.
Oh, yeah.
And, a bit crazed, too much coffee. And so, yeah, so they're doing that, and they're doing that monthly. And I think there are a lot of groups that are looking, how can we bring it to, create these Zoom plays? I know the Public did one with the Michaels or the Apples, Marianne Plunkett, and J.O. Saunders. They did it. So there is that. And I do think, my feeling is when we do get back to the theater, it's going to be very a small cast. We'll be looking at 1, 2 people. And, the audiences will be separate for a while, and we'll just have to do it that way.
Yeah. I've actually
seen
I think we will too, and we're strong people. We can do this. I did see a set of a theater company. They built like plexiglass cubicles on stage. I don't know what the play was that they were doing, but they built like something for the actors to like go into and perform. Oh, did you see that?
They did Godspell. They did Godspell.
Oh, that's what it was. Oh, interesting.
They were doing Godspell, people singing it, and then the audience were all separate with masks. and they were doing Godspell. So they were singing, because as you said, they were singing behind the plexiglass.
It's almost
And
yeah.
Wait, say that again,
what say, Chris?
Chris?
Oh, I
Yeah.
was saying it's a play that lends itself to it.
Mm.
Yeah.
It totally does. It totally allows itself and keeps it just sort of almost presentational and everyone a bit separate. And the audience loved it. I remember everyone just standing up at the end and going, "Oh, here we are again, being entertained." You know, that give and take. You can't beat it.
I think maybe some Brecht will really take off
Well,
after this.
Yeah, that's a great. That's perfect. That is
That's
perfect.
actually perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love that. I mean, I'm a huge Brecht fan, so I'll bring anything. I'll bring
There we
anything.
go. We did. I actually did Mother Courage in an abandoned U.S. nuclear missile bunker in Germany one summer. That was pretty.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really quite an experience. We actually got buzzed by the Russian army because we were on this missile base and we were wearing army uniforms, not U.S. Army uniforms, but for part of the show. And this helicopter came over and was like, "What's going on down there?" Kind of thing. But I think
Pretty wild story.
Well, you know, Punch Drunk. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Punch Drunk that did Sleep No More, but they're also doing a site-specific show. Have you heard about it? It looks terrific. I haven't seen it.
I have not heard
It's
about
on the island of Essex, an island just off England, close to Essex apparently, which is not a great neighborhood, by the way. But it's they're doing it this whole session, these whole days where everyone is, they're just doing this theater, which is completely site specific and remote. So I think you're just going to start. Everyone is thinking outside the box right now. I know.
Yeah.
Every time I approach anything, I'm like, and especially with the Zoom thing, it's like, if the more you embrace it, I think the more the more you see how much possibility there is.
Well, I think us actors are acting outside the box at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have to be outside. We can't have our small black box theaters anymore at the moment.
Right.
Well, going to the film real quick, I just wanted to ask you guys if you had any advice for young writers or filmmakers, either starting off or earlier in their careers, that you could offer them. And is short film a good way to start, that sort of thing?
Oh yeah. Don't you think, Abigail? A short film is the way to do it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you just have because the thing is, 5-minute film is perfect ours is a bit longer than that, clearly, but it's to have a short little idea and then to just work on that, get that. It's a great calling card, and it's also you get obviously we're still meeting a lot of people in these film festivals, like you lovely gentlemen, for example, but because it's out there, it's now, this is the way to do it, online, remotely, but it's at some point it will open up. And I think people, you just have to think outside the box and go with the flow of imagination and creativity. I really do.
And if you think starting with a 5-minute, I will say Abigail's first film that she did, Play Ball, with Denny starring in it, was originally a play that they did on stage at Ensemble Studio Theater. And it was literally 5 minutes, and it's this beautiful, there's no dialogue in it whatsoever. And I think, again, that's looking outside the box and looking at how you can tell just a beautiful moment, because that's what it would, and Play Ball, did so well in the festival. So think outside the box. Don't let anyone tell you, don't let anyone make a face and go, what? Just do it. And then find someone like Abigail, who's a great director and a great dramaturg. Or
even,
just find
I was going to say even Mary and Louise, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Same thing. Kind of go there.
Brilliant film.
Thank you so much. Amy Statz wrote that. So,
well, is there anything else you would like to share with our viewers? Any website too that they can see more of your work?
So I have a website, Weird Sisters, .com, and then Holly has her own website, which she's going to say because I don't know the name. And then we have a ICARUS Stops for Breakfast.com website as well.
Yeah.
So
And those will appear like down there.
We'll have them up on screen for you.
Yeah, we'll put those up.
HollyHarms.com, right?
we're all over Instagram as well. So, it's hard to keep up with all the social media, I tell you.
It really
It's
is.
so,
Yeah.
it is.
All right.
And mine is hollyharms.com. It's easy to find me.
hollyharms.com.
Yep.
Okay, great. Awesome. Abigail, Holly, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you guys so much.
You're very welcome. We wish you much success moving forward. Please keep us posted on what's happening.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to everyone seeing ICARUS Stops for Breakfast at the Hunter Mountain Film Festival. Before we sign off, we just want to remind everyone to make sure to check out all the other great content at Hunter Mountain Film Festival, October 23rd through the 25th. You can just visit huntermountainfilmfestival.com. And you can also visit us on social media on Instagram at rollthecredits_podcast. So if you have a chance to check us out on that, thank you so much. I think that's a wrap for tonight. Chris, you know what time it is, right?
Time to
roll the credits. Thanks so much. Take care. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and talking tonight. Bye-bye.